Yo, you tuning into The Notion. This your boy Dizzy D Spill here with my co-host in the building.
You go first.
Jelani Evans.
Farmer Poe.
So it's going to be one of these days, Poe?
It's just Harold. He ain't farmed shit in months. All right.
It's just this man right here. It's going to be one of these. I see you in a good mood. I see you had your cereal, man.
Oh, yeah, he feeling it. His shoes ain't even tied up.
Yeah. What shoe got on today, man? What kicks are those, man?
Used to
NBA dunks. He don't know.
Bulls. The 75th anniversary. One of them.
Yeah.
75th anniversary.
Yeah.
Jelani, can you explain what he has on, please, sir?
He has on the NBA 75th anniversary Nike dunks.
Okay.
Wait.
The low tops.
No, I was just checking the tongue to make sure that they were dunks and not SBs.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The SBs is different. They're going to have a thicker tongue.
I know that.
Yeah, I know that.
I wasn't saying you didn't, but I was just making sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because I think the SBs actually are all red here at this black part.
I don't think they can hear you.
They're
All the
completely
candy in your
different.
mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right. I saw you exploring your options. I dig it. That's what's up.
Something like it.
Yeah, because, he stepped away for a minute. He was just rocking the New Balances and, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. I ain't really seen Poe in any
I don't bring them out all the time.
Yeah. Okay. So
I don't try to,
you got the car cover on them.
Yeah, I don't be bringing them out all the time.
Okay.
Fucking them up and shit.
Oh, yeah.
I do my regular deglers.
I understand.
Yeah,
I understand. Okay, respect. All right.
I just wear whatever I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to, but weather conditions and other conditions.
Yeah, see,
that's the only thing that'll be preventive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if it was raining, I wouldn't have wore these today. So
yeah, I feel
and
it.
depends on if I'm gonna be doing a lot of outside walking.
Yeah.
I mean, besides checking the mail and walking to and from my car, like that's the extent of outside walking. Like
I do a little DoorDash, so every time I get out the car, there's a lot of leaves on the ground and shit.
In and out, not
Yeah, we don't want the leaves
I
fucking
wouldn't be. I wouldn't be in my nice shoes.
Mud.
Yeah, stuff.
Not unless you trying to
stuff that's not durable for shoes.
pull something on the job.
Yeah, nah.
The door you buy.
Nigga walking around with plastic bags on his feet.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, here to deliver your meat.
Yo, so what's up with some news, man? I mean, I got some news, but I'd rather y'all go first. Any news in y'all industries that's big, huge?
Moving on. Ain't nothing going on in the sneaker world. It's the same old dry ass shit. Excuse my language, but it's the same foolery, man. Ain't nothing changed too much.
No new releases.
Nah, I mean, there's releases, but the thing about it is dates keep changing because of shipping issues and whatnot. So it's like, they be like, look at this. This might be coming out soon.
Yo,
Maybe.
I seen a article about like people that was waiting on their Halloween shit just now got it.
Oh no, hell no.
See,
No.
I was like, yo,
We're not doing
yeah.
So what is it? Something supposed to be dropping before the end of the year? Anything?
Yeah.
Besides the cool grays, obviously, but
he's focused on the cool grays. Like,
no, I ain't focused on cool.
No, I'm
grays.
just saying, like, you talking about those, like the patent leather bread's not finna drop.
See, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't pay attention to Jordans.
Those is the ones.
Yeah, we've been waiting on those
No
for a
pun
minute.
The bread, what? Which ones? The bread fours?
The ones. Yeah, they're the patent leather red ones. I actually want those. I don't have any faith in getting those, so I'm probably not gonna try to get those. But man, they are amazing. So, but they've kept pushing the date back to the point where I don't even know what the release date is anymore. I kind of gave up, all hope and shit like that. But Poe, what's up with the anything? Nothing,
man.
Nothing.
Nothing, man.
All right, man, we gonna get up out of here, man. But I got some interesting hip hop news. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Kango Kid. He passed away.
Yeah.
A few days ago.
Saw that.
And he was a legend in the 80s mainly. Did some stuff with the Real Roxanne and things like that. Came from the UTFO group and stuff like that. So, R.I.P. to Kango Kid. And then I just got some news that Draco the Ruler got stabbed.
Yep, a couple hours
at
ago.
the damn Once Upon a Time in L.A. festival.
Yep.
Backstage? Like, seriously?
The end.
I'm just
Seriously?
I'm
Backstage?
just hearing some things. I guess there's some beef. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I did see that there was some beef.
That's crazy though, because it's like you ain't safe nowhere. Like you can't even go out and perform. Like backstage, it wasn't a fan. You see what I'm saying?
It was some straight street shit backstage.
Right, some other people's entourage and stuff like that. And it's crazy because it's like, you know, a lot of people be talking about how people be capping and they're fake with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like if you're really living that life, these are the type of circumstances that you can encounter.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's not cool.
Nah, it's not, man.
It's you know, it's disappointing. You know,
Yeah.
it's discouraging. It's frustrating.
Yeah, dog. It's
what can you do to change that though? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I want to add to what you said, because you said it's not safe, or nobody's really safe, and I 100% agree. And I think nobody is safe when you're in a certain lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain type of worry between a Jaden Smith performing some rap or hip hop and maybe a YG, you know, or a young Snoop that came from a certain type of background, where it's like, yeah, you're not really safe depending on who's there, who's feeling some type of way, you know, who misinterpreted something that was said in a record or something like that.
Here's what I would
let's
ask,
keep it
you know
solid
what?
though.
Was there, because they, you know, they're saying YG and his crew and some other people, those names are being passed around. Did they have public beef?
Not that I know of. And when I say not that I know of, it's because I haven't really dived deep into reading about it. I mean, Poe, you know something? Like,
the only thing that I was trying to like figure out is, I know Draco had a lot of issues with like the Inglewood families. Like, of course, obviously, I don't know shit about none of that shit going on, or none of their politics or nothing. But the only correlation that I instantly thought about was, I don't know if Slim 400 and them, if Slim was Inglewood or what he was.
and he recently,
it might have been some connection to that, but
killed,
I know Draco been doing a lot of like back and forth with the Inglewood families for a while. Could have been that. It could have been some other shit, but I definitely did hear. I honestly thought of him as being like a dude who brought a lot of energy on himself. So like y'all made the comment, like you can't really perform or be safe
not really
anywhere.
Safe anywhere. Yeah,
not safe anywhere. But then I look at it like that's true. If you like, in the sense
Create
from the
that
perspective
type of
of like
environment for yourself.
it's like a perspective of a bystander. It's like, yeah, you may not be safe anywhere. Anything could pop off anywhere. You may get into it with someone and it was not your fault. The person might be on some other shit.
Yeah.
But a lot of these dudes is bringing that energy on themselves, right? And it's like they always talking this. It can go down anywhere. It's on site. Like they quote unquote live in the street, been living life, street life, right? So they should obviously kind of know or expect that they issues are going to transfer over into the industry if they still on that type of shit, and whoever they against it with is on that shit. So like these concert issues, it's like y'all bump into each other.
But see, that's why
bringing
I asked.
that energy. Like,
that's why I asked though, because it's like this. I asked if anybody knew about any public beef, because if they have public beef and you book both these people at the same venue, you're asking for it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, because this is another thing. If you do live that street life, you also move a certain type of way.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You move a certain type of way. You don't be caught up in certain places. You know what I'm saying? You don't hit certain spots. You stay away from certain streets. You see what I'm saying? Like if they book you at a venue where it's like, yo, that's too close to their territory. You know what I'm saying? Like you move a certain way, right?
That's real.
So then it's like, if the beef was public or somebody knew, and then you have both of them booked at the same event because it's LA and they both from LA, then it's like you're asking for it. It should be one or the other, right?
yeah, but I don't think these venues or the labels or any of that, that's to them gonna be part of the reason why they're signing a lot of these artists is because of the issues that they have with each other. It's the beef.
Well,
so like they don't really
understand
necessarily
that,
care, even though it's a liability.
Well, I think the point is
it's not up
just
to
like,
the businesses to care, but I'm saying like if you're gonna book them at a venue and you run the venue, then you're jeopardizing your own venue because you're inviting two different parties that bump heads. That's where you should care. That's what I'm saying.
Sure,
I don't care about them being booked or being signed because they have issues. Like that brings
that's
fans
interesting.
in.
That's interesting. That's an interesting segue too. But I get it because like we'll probably never in history see Lavish D and fucking Mozzie on the same ticket. You know what I'm saying, or the same bill at a venue in Sacramento.
Well, in Sacramento,
you feel what I'm saying? But I mean, it would. But anybody who listens to either or is gonna know like that's like. When you listen to the diss records, it ain't just diss records. Like they naming like some real shit that happened to real motherfuckers on both sides that ain't here no more. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you're just financially smart, you're not gonna book them two together for any damn thing. So the thing is and that's public to the point where like they've both did Vlad interviews. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, that's why I said I don't know if the beef was public. You know, with Draco and, you know, whoever else he might have been beefing with that could have been at that venue. Now, the things that I read on, I didn't read anything about anybody else at that venue that could have been an issue. But then again, I haven't, you know, this all just popped off like recently.
I mean, but what about where does the responsibility and accountability fall back on the individual themselves, right?
Oh, it's always.
It's checking a roll sheet on who gonna be there.
But look, it'll be like this.
Right?
I mean, not even
when
that.
You go to a party, don't you? Who all gonna be there?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but
if I'm going to a venue, I was in LA.
Yeah.
Who all performing?
But beyond that, I know these niggas is doing that, right? Mm-hmm. They're probably moving in a certain way, like. But one thing, niggas is hiring or allowing their friends to be their quote unquote security because niggas is too cool or too tough to hire security. So
well,
now
bro.
Think about this. These niggas got their entourages. The entourages is who popped this shit off. They fighting, right?
That's true.
So there's two folds to that. You allowing your friends or whoever, your partners or whatever, to be your muscle. That's not only putting them in a situation to where they could lose their life or jeopardize their freedom.
Yeah.
But then it's like, you think you too tough to have security, but you're not protecting the bag and you're not really moving correctly. It's like, that's not too tough to have security.
Well, I don't
baddest
think
motherfuckers in this world on this planet got security.
Well, I don't think it's just a security thing. You got to remember, we also talking about hip hop. And the thing is one of the main things that almost in every hip hop album you gonna hear, they don't fuck with the police, and that comes with the territory. No, I'm agreeing with you.
Death Row has some good motherfucking security though, didn't they?
Come on, bro. Death Row's a worse example. But
no, if we're talking about, even though they're the worst example, they're also a perfect example to speak about.
Bro, they had Pyru niggas as was cops, bro. So it's like,
no,
I
but
mean,
this is what
police?
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, Reggie Wright and his pops ain't no gang members though. Reggie Wright and his father, Reggie Wright Jr., them niggas was police, but they were security.
Yeah,
and most of the security that you're gonna hire is gonna be
when you're talking about gangster rap, bro. They're not gonna do that just off of the imagery.
Well, it's a contradiction.
Yeah, well, no, it's not really, because this is how I look at it. I look at like, if you're gonna walk that line, motherfucker, you gotta walk that line. Like, for example, when you look at us three, right? We're hosts of a podcast, and neither one of us no fucking gangsters, and we not trying to advertise that shit. Right, exactly. But if we were to advertise that shit, motherfucker, you gotta walk that line. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is when you say the whole security thing, I get it. Like logically, and you know, as a smart person,
niggas got security that's in the streets and that's gangsters. Like the niggas that niggas hold up and talk about. You want to talk about, even though niggas might have ratted or been snitches or whatever, a lot of them niggas had security. Not just a nigga like, hey, my partner, I know you would bust your gun if some shit pop off. It's like, nah, I got a nigga who's known for being a good security man. As far, he might be a street nigga. The nigga is he knows how to watch and observe and be able to detect certain shit, keep us out of situations. But a lot of niggas is just like, hey, y'all, this my nigga. He busts his gun. He my shooter. He my security. Like, that's
killing me right now, bro. Dude, brother, anything. You said nigga like 15 times in that sentence, in that little, like, just brother, dude, anything. Just not nigga, please. You're killing me right now, bro.
What?
Because you keep saying nigga. Like, switch it up. Brother, dude, guy.
We talk freely, so I mean,
know, but it just
the thing is, bro, is that when it comes to the security aspect of shit, like, I agree with that. And when you say the baddest person could have security, I agree with that too. Mike Tyson was the baddest person the baddest man on the planet, right? And he had all the security, and Tyson was a street dude
I'm
too.
about to say that might not be a good one because I feel like Tyson's security protected people from Tyson. Like, but yes, he did have security.
He has security, so I agree with that. But what I'm saying is when it's not, I don't think it's just a tough guy thing. Well, with these gangsters and these street cats, I think it's one of those things where when you said it's a contradiction, right? I agree with that.
You don't think it's a tough guy thing?
Nah. I don't. I think that's a gang culture thing, bro. Like, in gang culture, if you saying you don't rock with the police, you don't do this, like, they don't call the police when shit happen.
Yeah, but I ain't talking about calling the police as far as that. I mean, you don't have to portray the tough guy image to be like that's part of a different subset of the street culture.
Yeah,
like, it's a lot of dudes. Was that good?
Appreciate you.
Okay, all right, just making sure. It's a lot of dudes, it's a lot of brothers that's out here that are not necessarily portraying a tough guy image. It's like a young man's mentality.
Yeah. He was
28 years old.
I think we're saying the same thing. The only thing that I'm disagreeing with is the fact that I understand why for some people, for some street niggas, if I will.
I think it's even more deeply rooted than that, though, honestly. Because if you look at neighborhoods where we come from, you don't even have to be from the streets.
Yeah, you don't. You just got to be from that neighborhood.
We not calling the cops. We don't deal with the cops. You know, like, that's and people correlate. It don't make sense. Right? Yeah. Somebody running your house in the hood, you would think call the cops, right? But we don't always call the cops.
That's why I said it's a culture thing, bro. Like, anytime I look at something that just doesn't seem right, logical, I'm gonna start analyzing the culture. Like, why is it like that in that culture? Mm-hmm. And there's so many things that's a culture. There's hip hop culture, there's gang culture, there's black culture, there's white culture. And so when I'm looking at somebody that comes from a gang culture and they don't trust the police, and security kind of emulates the police. I mean, they even got amber sirens on the top of their little Jeeps and shit like that, and badges and everything else. It's just a replication.
Why they turn around and they'll hire they homies to be their security.
Right. And that is
because I know you. You're not a cop. I know you. You got muscle, right? Mm-hmm. So you be my security.
Right.
So they feel more secure with somebody they know from the hood being their security instead of dealing with the cops, because in a sense that's contradicted. That's taboo to what they're supposed to be as a gangster, right?
Yeah. What I'm trying to tie up with that, bro, is that to us, what you're saying, it's like, yeah, that doesn't logically make sense why you wouldn't have security. So what I'm explaining is from their viewpoint. That's what I'm breaking down. That's how they see it. We see it differently because it's like,
I understand how they see it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, when do niggas take accountability for themselves? So if
they don't.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't. They don't.
Those dudes don't.
They don't.
Yeah, they don't. And I mean, you're not even going to get any pushback on that, my guy, because
when do you stop thinking?
I would say.
All right, when do you start thinking that you could die? Like, when do you start living like you could die? Because it's almost like I hear we see Draco the Ruler, what happened with him, right? And he's a perfect example. And Von is a perfect example. And Duck is a perfect example of individuals that I looked at all three of these dudes. And I hate to say it, but But I looked at all three of these dudes and I could see that they was gonna die because the energy that they bringing is like they understand and they see what's going on in the culture.
Mm-hmm.
But yet niggas is looking at each situation and like, man, that shit ain't gonna happen to me. I move like this. I move like this. So my thing is like, when do you see your partners dying? When do you see other individuals dying in certain situations, in any type of situation? When do you start saying, man, my nigga, I could die too?
But you just said it. That couldn't happen to me. They feel they're invincible. They feel they can't be touched. That's why they operate how they operate and do the things that they do.
That's the movement. That's the movement of the. I mean, I like you posing the question because it opens the floodgates. That's the young man's game.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm
Draco's
saying?
28. Like, when do we?
He's still a young man.
He's still a young man.
That's still a young man, bro.
28. Like, it's like.
You know what I'm saying?
How old do we gotta be? Like, these dudes is all young. Von was definitely younger. Duck was way younger. But I don't know, man. It's just it's sad to see that shit. But it's almost like every week.
I feel I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. I feel the frustration and the passion you feel behind it, and I respect that, bro. Like I do. And I think the thing is, man, is that a lot of these artists that are coming up and then being taken really young, you got to understand, are also children of the music that we respected too. You know what I'm saying? The only difference is that we didn't take too much of it to heart. I mean, it's still stuff we can listen to back in the day, and we was like, oh, that was the shit back in 03 or 02 or 05 or whatever the case is. Right. But they're also the children. When you breaking down people that's from 20 to 28, you know what I'm saying? And the type of music that they're putting out, these are the children of the Rick Rosses, you know what I'm saying, the Young Jeezys. And I'm not even putting the blame on them. I'm just saying the type of music that was coming, you know, that's coming out. I mean, even somebody like Soulja Boy is calling himself Big Draco. Bro, you came up on dance music, but what's trendy, what's hot, you know, right, to be the new era gangster, right? And so that's where it's coming from. And then you have a few people that actually get an opportunity to grow up. You know what I'm saying? So when you say, when does a person actually start looking at it? Well, take Snoop Dogg, for example. Snoop Dogg watched Death Row fall apart. He watched Tupac pass away. He watched Biggie pass away. He watched Suge go down. You know what I'm saying? He watched all kinds of shit happening. And so he started maneuvering different. So he's the few anomalies you see that actually survived being around something like that. And you know how crazy the 90s was. And now you look at him, but there's not a lot of artists that get to walk away from that.
And that's the thing. He went through a whole lot that he was able to walk away from. He's seen a whole lot crumble that he was actually, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Some of these artists go through stuff, and like you said, they don't get to walk away from it. They go through it, and it breaks them. They snap, or they get involved in something that was too overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? Wrong place, wrong time. And that's it.
Yeah. So, I mean...
And if they survive those experiences, I feel like maybe then they would grow up. Like, for instance, if, you know, Draco, rest in peace, if he had survived that attacking, he would probably be different.
Even Dolph, Dolph just went down, right? And you want to know something eerie about that? That even shocked me. And I didn't listen to a whole lot of young Dolph, but I was just like, damn, like I think my nephews listened to him mostly, right? But then I seen a Drink Champs interview where Noriega was like, hey man, it's a lot of people that's been going down, and he brought up the people that passed, and he was like, just be careful and stuff like that. And he literally said something that you like close to what you said. He was like, well, I don't know nothing about that. You know what I mean? It was a lot of confidence. You know what I'm saying? And then, something happened to him, which is unfortunate. So it's really that it's a young man's game when it comes to that street shit, but it could also be a young man's mentality where you can be 28 and you pushing 30 and you should be, kind of growing, but you're not, because you still got that young man's game mentality in your head to where the shit happens. Like, I mean,
some of these dudes, it's crazy that you brought it up. And this is just from me playing the devil's advocate with it, because I understand the other side. Like, I get that mentality. Not as from a personal experience necessarily, but I can understand that. But a lot of dudes be having these close calls, and then they keep rolling the dice as if like they're invincible. Like Dolph had that situation where
everybody don't learn from their experiences. Some and then this is what happens. Like, some learn from it and grow up. Some go through the experience. Like, I told you I can't be touched.
Yeah. I mean, that happened to Pac, bro.
Get more fans, put out another record, do more numbers.
Yeah.
Live off the hype.
Don't forget what Pac said when he got shot. Got shot 5 times, took it and smiled. You know what I'm saying?
Remember, 50 Cent came out. He was talking about all his shots. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a badge of honor.
It's a badge of honor. And then you got to listen to the records where they're like, okay, I get pop right now and die a legend. You know what I'm saying? So it's still glorified. I mean, I think there's people that's trying to get away from that and trying to destroy that whole culture, which, may not be a bad thing. It may help people live longer. You got the J. Coles, you got the Kendricks, and you got I don't even know why I'm drawing a blank. I was just talking to you earlier this week about him.
Joyner.
Yeah, you do have Joyner. But you have come on, bro.
Freddie?
No.
Something just happened to him.
But you got different artists like that are bringing different things to the table to talk about and think about and promote. You know what I'm saying? And so maybe throughout time, some artists may, catch on to that and they may appreciate it. But as far as that goes, I mean, that's all. Gangster rap is always going to be gangster rap. It's never changed. Only the artists in gangster rap.
You're thinking of Toby, huh?
Nah, bro.
His ego too.
I don't even want to open my phone and look, but I'm finna do it because I'm gonna get mad at myself. Like, how could I forget? Because I've really been playing. I've been knocking the music Mick Jenkins, bro.
But see, even that's my thing. That's the other part of it is.
That's what I was also trying to remember. Mick Jenkins.
the state, like, I guess my thoughts is kind of a little not all organized, but things like you got Jim Jones posting about Draco. And to me, I'm like, nigga, but y'all just popped off last week. And the nigga's saying rap is like the most dangerous job.
It is. Yeah.
But it ain't. It's only dangerous for the niggas that's bringing danger to, like, I'm sure it can be dangerous for anyone at any time being famous. But it's like, it's like we ain't hearing about a lot of things happening to certain individuals. It's happening to the people that bring in the energy around them.
Like you started off at the beginning. Like you started at the beginning.
Let me tell you
people bringing that type of energy. Like, think about it.
Bringing that
before you start, you mentioned Pac, right? He started rapping about death, right?
Yeah.
Then passed away.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, oh, he's seen it coming. Nah, he just rapped about it and brought it on himself. They say the tongue has power, right?
You speak it, you think it.
You put that energy out into the universe, right? So if you continue to speak on that and draw focus and energy to it, at some point it's going to come back to you.
Yeah, you're going to bump into it.
No, that's real. That's real. I mean, it's the whole energy test. I've never tried it, but I've seen videos on it where you have 2 jars and you say negative things to one and positive things to the other. Right. And after like 30 or 60 days, the negative one actually starts to rot and the positive one stays the way it's the same. I don't know what they put in there, but that's was like, when I seen it, I was like, damn, like that negative energy shit is real. So it really is about what you speak on. I just want to say real quick before we keep going, yo, I am really appreciating Jalapeno Poe today, man. You really like pressing a hard line, bro. You really like debating. Yeah, Jalapeno Poe need to show up a little bit more.
I just
often,
had to
bro.
bring that part.
No. I like.
No excuses.
Yeah.
From now on, that's how you pie. When you pull up, that's how you pie.
Sitting in my car like, all right now, you get in there. You better fucking show them how to pie.
How about the car and see him like, yeah, game time.
Did any of you guys check out the Rick Ross album?
No, not yet.
No.
I like it.
What you think?
I like it.
Okay.
I heard
like
like 1 or 2 songs on it, like, cause I downloaded it. And so like once what I was listening to stopped, you know how like your player will go on the shelf and just start playing stuff. I heard like 1 or 2 songs. One of them kind of stuck with me. I can't remember what it was. But I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to listen to that. And I heard another one. I was like, oh, not so fast.
Yeah, it's like.
Where'd you listen to it? Like in your out of car?
Just the headphones. You know what I'm saying? I found a couple songs that made it to some mixes I already got. That's usually what I do when I listen to an album. Whatever I like, I throw it on a certain mix. Not a bad album. I mean, I like some songs more than others, but really, if I'm just taking a trip, I could listen to it from top to bottom because it's not a long album. And I'm noticing a lot of artists are doing that. And I actually like that. I actually like the shorter albums, bro. Because it's like, fuck, man, I've listened to certain albums and I'm like, damn, man, how many more? 5 more songs?
Yeah,
It's been an hour and 30 minutes. What's going on?
Yeah.
So it's not a bad album.
It's not a CD, it's a movie.
I heard it was a good album. So the one thing that I did hear was that the mixing wasn't as
Really
great as it could have been.
You know, that's funny. There's an album that I was listening to from somebody, and I didn't like I felt like their voice sounded weird on it. It wasn't the Rick Ross album,
okay.
but it was Ellie Dollar Sign, Les.
Okay,
He
yeah.
dropped a new album, and like, the beats sound good, and you know, but his voice sounds off. It sounds like higher pitched. It kind of threw me. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
that. You know what I have been noticing a lot of music where it has like this higher kind of frequency going on and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't know if that's like a new thing that people are trying to like adopt or put out, but yeah, it can get old after a while. I know what you're talking about with that. I haven't listened to that last yet, but I need to listen to that.
Yeah, that new Bodie drop.
Bodie and Alchemist?
Yeah, he going in.
Okay, I need
He
to check
going
that
in.
out.
Have you heard the new Wiz yet?
Yes, I liked it.
Okay,
I
feel like
I
we
actually
spoke on it,
haven't.
but
We did, but I haven't liked a Wiz project in a long time.
no. This is like vintage Wiz.
Yes.
It gives me vintage Wiz vibes.
Yes.
But
For sure.
I appreciate that.
For sure.
So
Makami dropped another project a week or two ago. That's pretty dope.
Just when a motherfucker think he catching up on some shit. Y'all just named like 5 albums I ain't even listened to yet. I'm about to go make a mess so I can clean up.
But the one thing I don't like how you gotta go like search for you gotta figure out an artist to search for on a Friday, or you have to have seen the artist.
You talking about new artists or just known artists?
Just new projects.
projects. It's
Because they're
like,
not
if
showing
you don't
everything.
rock with the artist, you really won't know when they drop.
You know what I noticed that you might have to do depending on whatever it is you stream on, and we're not going to promote them because they're not paying us, right? What you got to do on some of those apps is you got to probably favorite like artists.
Well,
kind of like social media.
On this phone's app. You
Oh,
can't
okay.
do it.
Yeah,
You
all
can't.
right.
Yeah, and see on this one I have to follow.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And
It's kind of
even-
like a social media
Yeah,
thing.
but even then, like it'd be crazy. But like, let me see. So yeah, the new Bodie James, the new Les, the new Rick Ross is on here, the new Wiz.
Yep.
Roddy
Rich?
Nah.
No, I don't fuck with him.
I like Roddy Rich.
Nah, I don't really do.
I'm not a fan of it, but my son was liking it so much during that summer that he dropped his album that I started like listening to him.
I like Roddy Rich because of 1500 or Nothing, and he did and 1500 did a lot of Nipsey's shit. So I kind of listen to Roddy because I like his delivery with that production, and I'm a real big fan of that
He
producer.
makes some good music.
Gotcha.
He makes some good music.
You know about Primo Rice?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
That sounds hella
his-
fire with like some chicken or
I'm
something.
listening to his new album. Nah, Primo Rice is out of Maryland though, but like he rock with Larry June,
Okay.
Dollar Sign, like
Okay.
you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like he kind of in that same domain. So
The Jelani All Stars, I dig it.
there you go.
Who else? I think y'all heard of Nick Grant.
No, that sounds like
He's a dude
somebody I
from,
had class with in high school. But go ahead.
I think he might be associated with Cole and them. No,
You know what? That does kind of sound like I've heard something with along the lines. I don't know. Don't let me get the line.
Yeah.
Don't let me get the line, man.
Yeah. Last album. Tory Lanez.
Nah.
Y'all listen to Tory?
Nah.
He got the 80s album Alone at Prom. When he does his concept albums, he's dope, bro.
Okay.
He's dope. And the trial has begun. We're getting some new information out.
I seen some news where they can't.
Some contradictory information is out there.
Okay, I haven't heard.
Bitch, dance.
I haven't
What y'all
heard
talking
the.
about?
I haven't heard the contradictory information.
Do you believe that?
What that?
That he said dance, bitch, dance? That's what he said.
All right, so this is
That's what they saying he said.
This is what's so funny about it. You be like, nah, he didn't say that. But then when you think about the type of character he is, like, have you ever you see his personality, how he is in interviews and everything?
Yeah.
And I was like, if he was under the influence,
Yeah, but think about this.
but why?
At the party,
Mm-hmm.
she got kicked out the party, or was asked to leave, or she was the disturbance at the party.
Was she?
She was the word out there is that she was the disturbance at the party.
Go
'cause she
on,
was
prosecutor.
drunk. According to the
Prosecutor Poe.
according to the gunpowder residue test, he doesn't have gunpowder residue on him. The friend does.
Tori's friend?
No, Megan's friend. So see, this is the story. I don't know if y'all been following it.
I haven't.
I've been following closely.
It's Tori and Meg Thee Stallion. Hell no, I'm not following.
Yeah,
the
keep
story was
going
quite
with this,
interesting.
man.
Quite interesting when I first heard about it.
Okay.
It goes, he's messing with the friend. Him and the friend are messing with each
Thank
other.
you, sir. Appreciate it. Big ass ball.
Him and Megan start messing with each other on the low. They at the party at Kylie's house. Megan is drunk. Tori is out in the car with the friend. Meg asking everybody, hey, where they at the party? Because they all together. Where they at? Oh, I think they went out to the car. It's either Meg saw Tori with the friend or Tori or Megan's friend saw Tori with Meg. Either way, he was messing with.
Is it Meg or Megan?
Megan.
Okay.
Something. Is it the or the?
I think it's the.
All right, one of them.
Okay.
So basically he messing with the two friends. They arguing with each other. The security is the only person who got a gun. Somehow somebody get a gun and let off. It seems like he must have tried to stop her from shooting her. I think the other friend was trying to shoot Megan. That's what the story is, and he stopped it. So
what?
Yeah.
Oh, so he is being a fuckboy, and that's the issue.
Basically, like they was arguing friends. Like her and the friend don't follow each other no more. The friend and security.
So why would they make it seem like why would they make it seem like Tori allegedly shot her then?
This is what I'm speculating. The two females arguing. One has the gun. I go to stop one from shooting. So this is what I think. I think Meg seen Tori with the partner. They arguing. He tries to stop her from grabbing the gun or whatever, and the gun goes off accidentally. And because Meg is mad at Tori, what is a scorned woman gonna do? She's gonna either insinuate that you did something, that it was your fault, or she's gonna put dubs on it. So it looks like he was stopping whatever was happening, but he's the cause of what happened.
What do you believe?
I don't know.
Because I don't
really
know the
care.
story. Okay. Well, I mean,
I want to know what the
as
truth is
stories
'cause I'm curious.
as the story
You can't
develops.
say you don't want to care after you just gave.
I know. I did.
Like I'm like, yo,
I did.
you just
You're right,
updated
you're right,
everybody.
You're right. Right. We're gonna edit that. Mark that. What point?
Nah, we holding
Mark
niggas
that
accountable.
But no, real talk. It was crazy. It was crazy, you know.
I mean, when you break it down like that, that does sound crazy as shit because Tori did get drugged for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
It was a protect the black woman, don't believe the black men thing.
But hopefully, hopefully that's what that's what really happened as far as in dragging Tori, because that would suck if Tori really was innocent.
Man, that nigga dropped like 3 fire ass project classes.
Probably thought he was getting locked up.
Nigga said, I'm about to
be around.
Yeah, I gotta pay these lawyer fees.
Gotta have money for my books.
For real.
No, they was gonna send his ass right back to Canada.
If he's not already there.
Yeah, shit.
Well, I mean, that's interesting. We'll see what happens as stories develop.
That was our gossip news for the.
Yeah, it's a hell of some gossip, man. There's a couple things I wanted to address to our listeners, man. I know there's been some slow rotation on the boss talks. I've been having people hit me up on the boss talks. They like the boss talks with me and Jelani, but I also wanted to introduce another segment that's going to start happening on the Notion called Clean Up the Culture. I've been kind of like pinning it down and stuff like that, where we really dive deep into like the culture issues. That's why I was kind of like feeling what you were saying with the gang shit and everything, but just really like being unfiltered about the bullshit.
Okay.
But actually throwing a solution out there.
Not just critiquing and criticizing.
Yeah, like actually throwing a solution. Because I see a lot of YouTubers, I see a lot of shit where it's a lot of clout chasing, where they'll talk about some of the things that really is an issue in our culture, but it's just really about talking shit about certain people. That's part of the issue, but there's no real solution for people to like change or have an understanding to actually better it. They're not really trying to clean up the culture. They're just trying to scatter the fucking mess somewhere else.
You need to get your shit together. together. Moving on.
Exactly.
So, like, wait, what? How do I do that? Suggestions or is it not?
That's real talk.
Just
So I
scold me.
think that would be something cold for us to do. I mean, sometimes it could be, one of us, two of us, all three of us, but I think it's something that I think that people will really appreciate actually getting some answers. You know what I mean?
I feel you. I like that.
Before we dive into the topic, I did want to take the time out to give a shout out and a rest in peace. One of my good friends named Ball Jai Buddy All passed away in an accident. I don't know if you guys seen it on the news, but it was over by the Del Paso exit. It was that big rig that flipped over.
When was this?
A few days ago. And so like anybody that y'all know that I know that went to Natomas knows this dude. He was a baller. He was nice at basketball.
Wow.
And always had a smile on his face, always a good person. Anybody that came around him was a good person. So it kind of hit us like a ton of bricks. I got the call at work from the homie Marlon and stuff like that. So they're actually doing a visual, I think, as we speak. You know what I mean? So I wanted to, since we're here doing a podcast, I wanted to take the time out to give my condolences to his family and stuff like that.
Peace,
all of our peers and stuff. That one was a tough one right there.
Damn.
That's somebody we seen being a real old man one day. You know what I mean? So wanted to do that. But yeah. But I wanted to talk to y'all about goals, right? And something that's kind of been irritating me, but I know that we all are really skilled at the things that we do. And the thing is, I've been seeing a whole lot of the same story over and over again about achieving your goals and just focus on your goals. And how the fuck do you do that? Like, how do you really commit to your goals? How do you, stay, consistent with it? How do you even know that you picked the right goal? I'm asking you guys as individuals with the things that you do. I know I do what I do and I can explain it. But for somebody that's listening, how do you sit down and say, these are my goals, these are the right goals, and how do you know that those are real goals for you?
For me personally, it's still a learning process for me as far as learning what my goals are.
I respect that.
Because, sometimes some people don't even necessarily consciously set a goal. Like, you may have a thought. I think it just begins with thoughts, things that you maybe imagine for yourself, things that you are connected to, things that kind of draw you towards it. So I think that kind of begins with your thoughts. And sometimes a lot of us don't even make a plan or organize our thoughts and our goals. So it's kind of difficult to reach some of the goals without actually having a plan. And some of us are just going with the motions of life and trying to navigate that and overcome some of the obstacles of life. And your goals kind of play second, they come last sometimes. You got a lot of things that you're going through. So for me personally, attaining goals, I think it's still a process that I'm learning on how to do. So, I probably had like one goal in life was to go to college and graduate.
And you did that.
And then everything else was kind of like, I'm just going with the flow of life. Like, I know what I want sometimes, but I've always let life navigate, like, for me. So
okay.
I'm actually still learning to do that.
I respect that.
I think writing these thoughts down, coming up with small goals first, things that are kind of more attainable than the larger goal, and then learning how to attain the goal, like doing that process before you kind of plan on trying to make a big goal, because you can be discouraged when you don't reach or attain a goal. But if you know that it's a difficult process, then it's kind of like I can get through some of the obstacles of attaining the actual big goal.
Okay.
So for me, that's
all right.
Could you repeat the question? I'm just playing.
Hey, bro, nigga got nervous. So I was like, what'd I say?
Fuck him up. Nah, but I don't know. Like, I think goals is something that's extremely personal.
Okay.
Right? And in order for you to have goals, you kind of have to be in tune with yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta know you. And in the midst of that, like Poe was saying, writing things down. I mean, even in the Bible it says write it down on tablets and make it plain.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell people to, sit down and really brainstorm and think about the things that you like to do. Right? Things that interest you that you could really make a career or pursue, right?
Right.
After you write these things down, do some research. If it don't strike a chord, give you a spark,
Mm-hmm.
arouse some passion in you, it's not for you. Because your goals, you will pursue consistently. Your goals, like, you're usually driven by a passion when it comes to your goals,
It's
right?
almost like you're not in control of that. It's almost like you're not in control of that part.
Like
the thing that you're passionate about necessarily.
Well, I don't know. I know what I'm passionate about. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it took some time to get there.
But you didn't have to like force yourself to be passionate about it.
Nah.
Right. That's what I'm
Nah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, certain things you have interest of, when you start to do research, if you really dig it, like if you for instance, you like be a conductor, right? And you start researching trains and you really start getting into trains and engineering, like, that's for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That will hold you. The more you learn, the more you'll be intrigued. That spark can light a fire that will drive you. That's where the passion comes. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But if you are researching things and they don't really strike a chord with you, then don't do it, because you'll mess around and go through the motions. And the thing about it is, nobody can really tell you or set up your goals for you but you. That's why you got to know yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what you like to do and what you're capable of, and how your work ethic is, and you know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, once you start finding those goals, you'll start fine-tuning your work ethic. You'll start devoting more time and more energy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a process, but you got to take the time for it. So, knowing yourself, really brainstorming, putting thoughts down on paper and pursuing those just to see if they really like spark something.
Yeah.
Because it's like, bro, for a while, I was just working. You know what I'm saying? I was just kind of just doing stuff.
Right.
And then I had a mentor, and he was talking about, like, well, what do you want to do in life? I don't know. I want to get money. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, you don't really, like, somebody asks you that question, you really like,
I mean, what you think I'm doing out here?
You know what I'm saying? Because it was after high school. It was after college.
That's such a tough question, man. When you're so young and you just really don't know what's really out there, man. You just
But see, that's the thing about it. When you don't know what's out there, you have to sit down and brainstorm and explore.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that's where all that comes in at. So it was sitting down and thinking about the type of things that I want. And so then he had me break them down into sections. All right, if you can't figure out what you want overall, where would you like to be health-wise? Where would you like to be financially?
Okay.
What about spiritually?
Yeah.
Do you want a family? In order to have a family, you got to have A, B, C.
Right.
Absolutely.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you start breaking things down, then it starts to get a little easier. When you start thinking about the health, I was like, man, I would love to be healthier and, eat a certain way.
Right.
And, make sure I get my eye exam every year. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing the workout 3 times a week type, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When it's talking about finances, you know what I'm saying? I want to be out of debt. You know what I'm saying? I want to have this much saved up. Even to like my lifestyle. I wanted an old school. I wanted a Benz. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could tell you 2-story house, 6 bedrooms, 3 baths. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but start visualizing these things, like, and then now that I visualize them and I can say this is what I want, then you got to break it down. It's like a mission, right? Yep. Missions come with objectives. And once you knock out the objectives, you finish the mission.
Right.
There you go.
Same thing with these goals.
It's like a roadmap.
Yep. Exactly. And you gotta, and sometimes, like I said, ask somebody what they want out of life or what you want to do. That can be overwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sectionalize it.
Yeah. I've heard people say that your dreams and your goals should scare you.
Yeah. And I think people kind of misread that quote a little bit, because it's like, I have some goals, and thinking of the goals, I get nervous. I get anxious. You know, like, ooh, is it gonna go like this? Can I do that? Will this happen? What about this? Like, because what I'm thinking about doing is so much bigger than what I have been doing.
So yeah, it's a lot more massive. So it's like, yo, how am I gonna?
And there's
It's a new
variables
frontier too. It's new things.
You know what I'm saying? I hit you with some boondocks, because there's known knowns, there's unknown knowns, and then there's unknown unknowns. So there's stuff that I know. There's stuff that I know can change, but then there's stuff that I don't know
that you don't
that
know.
can still come about that ain't, you see what I'm saying? Ain't even on the radar. So it's just like, ooh wee. I gotta make sure I plan this right. I gotta strategize. I need to step away for a minute. If your dreams aren't big enough to have you looking at the bigger picture, knowing you need to step it up, and they are not challenging you, not for you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by, like, you're like, when you get to a certain point, your goals should scare you, because they're challenging. They're gonna pull you. They're gonna stretch you. They're gonna pull you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Which is the scariest thing, because in your comfort zone, you kick your feet up, take your shoes off. It's love. Outside of your comfort zone, unfamiliar. Just being unfamiliar can have you feeling some type of way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I feel they mean when they say your dreams, they should scare you.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think they should affect your whole entire lifestyle, man. Your goals. It's like a domino effect, and sometimes people might not even realize it until they're like deep off into it. But you know how they, I've seen like the quotes. I'll see the quotes where they have the Jay-Z photo, and it probably ain't even something that Jay-Z didn't say. Like, how you gonna work 8 hours here, but you won't even put in 8 hours there? Bitch, try it. That's all I gotta say.
That's 16 hours. That is 16 hours. I don't know who is up grinding at 3 a.m., but bless their heart.
Right.
I need sleep.
But I will say, like, it will affect your lifestyle as far as all right, I'm gonna cut the fat here so I can make more time to do this here. I'm going to
sacrifices.
Yeah, you're gonna sacrifice, but it's also, for example, like, okay, I'm gonna cut these relationships off over here because it's not in line with the people that have the same vision I have, when with the relationships I have over there. And that's what happens. That's where the whole concept of sometimes being brand new or being Hollywood comes from, because now people are handpicking the people that they've been associated with that are on the same path as them, which ain't an awful thing. It's all lifestyle changes.
I don't even, it's just outgrowing people.
Yeah.
That's just all it comes down to. As you continue to grow, develop, progress, and mature, especially once you start pursuing goals and looking at things differently and approaching situations and moving a certain way, you'll start aligning with other people, not by choice, but because of the mental aspect and what you have in common.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I mean, you can better relate now because I'm moving kind of like how you moving. So we get along. We don't move like that anymore, so you truly can't understand me. That don't mean I have any beef or issues with you, but we're gonna grow apart because we can't really relate anymore. I'm sitting over here talking about business stuff, and you're complaining about your boss. Where I'm sitting, I am the boss.
Oops.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that will allow you to start drawing to other people in line with people where you're like-minded. You have things in common. You can help each other grow. You can converse, and it be understood.
In that part, I think that's one of the biggest parts when we're talking about goals, is like how other people who may have slightly different goals than you are still rubbing off on you, that can affect your goals positively. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's even like when you talked about like lifestyle changes, how do you want to be health wise? Man, there's certain things that I eat. There's certain things that I put in the rotation with, with my meals now that I've learned from both of y'all. Both of you guys stay away from meat. Personally, I fuck with steak and chicken right now. But there's things that I look at, I'm like, yo, I like when he make the vegan mac and cheese. I got a cousin that hits me up a day before he get out here. Yo, tell Poe had that vegan mac. But those are things that are rubbing off, that's in a positive light.
I prefer the Thai noodles, but I get it. Poe got plates. Wait, wasn't that the... It should, yeah. What you saying, man?
But yeah, like, those things kind of like tied into there, man, where it's like I look back now and I'm looking at who I talk to, who I engage with on a regular basis, and like everybody has very important goals that I actually like love and respect, and actually like anticipating on them achieving them. Like I can't wait to be like, clapping my hands like, man, I remember when they were just talking about it, or I remember when they was feeling discouraged, or whatever the case is. But I think the most important thing is that within itself, like there's going to be times where you're going to be discouraged. There's going to be times. The most important thing too, and why I think it's important to have a specific group of people around you, is that's going to help push out the negativity. That's going to help push out the questioning and, well, what are you going to do about this? You're going to have, if you pick the right people around you while you're setting your goals, those people, without even knowing, are going to help you achieve them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So,
well, do you think people are more outgrowing?
Came in with the deep voice.
Others, or are we outgrowing ourselves? Like that's
see, it's both, because you're outgrowing your old self,
right?
Mm-hmm. And see, those people are attached to your old self.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? It's almost in some cases why certain people won't support you when you start doing different things than what they're used to, because they can't see you past what they know you for.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And so you have to understand that, people, everybody has this view of you. Everybody has this, you know what I'm saying? And it might not even be the one that you have of you. It differs from person to person. Right? But some people don't know how to adjust and accept change.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They're stuck in their old ways. They're used to the old ways. They don't want to grow, because growing means you have to leave your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So they stay there. So when you outgrow the old you also outgrow them.
Mm-hmm. And
so it's
stuck in that same place.
Boom.
So definitely are.
So it's both. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
All right.
And there's something I wanted to say though, because you said getting discouraged. You mentioned getting discouraged, and I mean like the discouraged, the frustration, all those type of feelings and emotions that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Don't run away from them.
Oh yeah.
Deal with them.
Yeah.
Don't just go through the motions, but don't stay there. Don't stay stagnant in those, like, you know what I'm saying? Things happen. And when it happens, like, deal with those emotions, figure out why, you know what I'm saying? And then get out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Address, adjust, and move on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't stay stuck in it, because being overthinking, being stuck in your mental, especially being an entrepreneur, that can eat at you.
And it's okay to feel like that. Like that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like people got to understand, like that's going to happen.
It's part of the process.
And if it doesn't happen, then you're probably not growing. And because
I was just gonna say, a lot of times it's growing pains and transitioning and things of that nature, and taking on new things and coming to new understandings and awarenesses and whatnot. It's like everything don't always hit the way you think it is. It ain't always, it's just sometimes it hit and you just, woo.
Sometimes you just riding your bike like normal and you hit that curve the wrong way. And it's,
And you got to digest it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that, man. I think that's just something important, because like I said, bro, and I'm glad we're talking about it, and we talked about it, because, with the instant gratification era that we live in, there's 30-second remedies for everything, bro. And I'm like, bro, that's just impossible. Like, if you really think that somebody's going to take that 30-second clip you posted, or that minute clip you posted, or they're going to take the time to finish watching whatever if they click that link, you know what I'm saying? People need more than that. There's an overload of information, and not all of it is valid. You know what I'm saying? And so having somebody sit down like we're doing and saying, hey, this is how you can set your goals up. I really loved how you broke down the fact that, I'm still figuring this out. I achieved this goal that I set for myself when I was young, but I'm still figuring it out. And I think that's important for people to hear, because a lot of times you don't hear that. Every person that you hear talking about goals has talked as if they've achieved all of them already, and that they're done and they're just on the beach drinking, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Umbrellas.
Right.
Nah, definitely. It's a work in progress, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like he said, and it was like that for me at first. I got out of college, like, initially, and I was like, now what?
Yeah.
Because they tell you, go to school, go to high school, graduate, go to college, get a degree. Now what?
Yeah.
They don't tell you how hard it is to get hired in your area with your degree. They don't tell you how people who have those jobs and those degrees, they hold them jobs, bro.
Yep.
15, 20, 30 years, they hold them jobs. It ain't like they just revolving doors.
Nah, they hold them.
So then now you got to try to find another way without your degree.
Yep.
But that's what I went to school for.
And so should we start giving the message of having a backup plan to everybody who goes to college? Like, the message that everyone tries to give us, someone who's into sports, an athlete, is like, all right, you want to play professionally, but you need to have a backup plan. What's your education? What's your academic backup plan? What are you going to do? Are you going to own a business? Are you going to go to school? But for college students, there also needs to be a backup plan.
I'm going to tell you what the backup plan is. I think the backup plan for college kids is your network.
Yeah, but see, that's actually the most beneficial part of college, I think. It's not the education. It's not what you necessarily learn. When you go into college, you're building relationships and networks with people that you're at school with.
Well, if you have a smart way of building a network, you'll understand that those pieces are always moving. Because the people in your network, they might move out your network. You might pull somebody in your network. And basically, without saying it in such a discreet way, for example, like me working and having experience in the warehouse industry, right? Mm-hmm. So I worked with a woman that worked in, the safety area, and she was a big dog in the safety area. And then she left and went to another company where she's even the bigger dog in the safety area. And like, we still have each other's contact information. There was no malice or anything when she left. We were cool. We actually bumped heads a couple times, but, we had a really good relationship. You know what I'm saying? Right. So let's just say I was the type of person around that time to be like, you know what? I think I want better for myself too. Hey, how you doing? We already have work history together. We already know of each other. We know what I'm capable of. She knows what she's capable of. Mm-hmm. She might be looking for somebody, or she might know somebody in her area that's looking for somebody like me. And then boom, you know what I mean? So having a network, that you build that is beneficial for you, but also you have enough value within yourself to be valuable to those individuals, I think is what a lot of college kids, should have, because of the fact that you're going into these industries and you're going into these different businesses or jobs where they already have their club. They already got their circle. And now you got to prove yourself and do some shit that you probably don't even feel like doing, or not going to lower your standards or morals to do. You know what I'm saying?
Well, definitely agree with that, because like I said, that's one of the most beneficial aspects to going to college, is building that network.
Yeah.
But then there's the mentality that when you go into college, once you graduate, there's going to be jobs open and people waiting to hire you, like with signs like, hey, over here. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the times you end up having to not only work while you're in college, you may end up having to work, but then you got to work while you're looking for that job. Because 6 months after you get out, Uncle Sam and them coming.
Hey, you remember that long?
Yeah, I like 6 months ago. I know it's been a while, but like,
hey, I shot you like 40 bands, and I'm just like saying, "What you doing?"
Yeah,
but see,
and I've been seeing you on the gram.
And I honestly, I've known I kind of knew the plan that I had. So I went into journalism. It's already a dying industry.
I wouldn't say it's dying. I would say it's oversaturated.
No, dying as in no one's buying the paper.
Buying newspaper.
Nobody's buying newspaper, and all the people who were journalists before, they don't have the technology skills.
Okay,
so
I see what you're saying.
During the time that I was in school, it's like a huge transition. Obviously, a lot of it is online now, and it's like transitioning to something different. Yeah. But that industry, like getting a job in that industry, is going to be very difficult. Mm-hmm. But I already didn't want to work at a publication. I wanted to kind of start my own thing.
Yeah.
And
so you made the notion to do what?
I like that. I already knew ahead of time. Like I started networking within the college, which is how I got my job. So I was working as a student.
All right.
Worked, did as a student, became a temp, and then I got hired permanently. So that's one full part to it. Then also knowing that I didn't want to be working for a publication necessarily. So one is like, I already know that the industry I'm going into is dying. I know I'm not going to get no job, but I don't even want no job with y'all. I just want the skills.
Right.
And then also working for the college, I ended up getting hired. So working for education for 10 years, it'll pay off my loans. so I won't have to pay my loans at all out of pocket because my income level is too low to be paying it right now. So it's on hold. And then after working for in education for 10 years, they'll pay it off.
Yeah, so you just like
I kind of knew those tricks, those little things are things that I think.
So you subconsciously didn't realize that you like set a goal. Like you just broke down a whole goal that you just like set in this
learned
execute.
that along the way.
Yeah.
And that's the part of your message of saying networking within college is because if I didn't network within the college, I wouldn't have found out that type of information.
Right.
And then like kind of been like, okay, that's my backup plan.
Okay.
Like, it's like, all right, I got a job with the college. Y'all gonna pay for my loans. I just need to maintain this job for 10 years. But it's kind of like.
That's another thing too, because like, we talking about, you said a backup plan for college students, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not only do they not be like, yeah, there ain't really jobs out there like that for your degree, they also want to take into account that once they get out of college, they're in debt. So it's not so much about having the time to find a job with your degree. Time is of the essence. Like you said, once you graduate, like 6 months,
who's that? Sam?
Sally?
Yeah. It's one of them. Sam and Sally be out here wrecking lives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
they
saying?
do. They really do.
Nobody really addresses those things. It's like, yo, go to college, get an education, but have the understanding that you won't necessarily be able to find employment with your degree, and there is a chance that you will leave college with debt.
Yeah.
So be aware of that, be prepared for that, and put yourself in a position to not have all your eggs in one basket as far as finding a degree.
We almost got through the whole episode, man.
Finding employment with your degree.
Yeah, somebody else gonna be finding an employment with a degree too. Go ahead, man.
I told him to turn it off before we started. I told him. I foresaw it.
Yeah, man.
No, but that's real talk.
Every once in a while, you're gonna have people in your network that don't follow the rules, man. But we do have jalapeno Poe today, so you know what I'm saying. It's a different vibe, man. But nah, you definitely right, bro.
It's crazy though, cause man, I went to college, but I'm still going to college. My setup was a little different, so I can't even talk.
Yeah, I'm just waiting until you get done. I'll just take all your work and reports and shit and take the same classes and get the shit knocked out fast.
Bro, I've been winging it. You don't want my work.
I do, man. You already did what you did, so I'm cool with it.
But see, that's the other part of it is like, how can you use the college system? Because the fact that you brought it, like, you say you're still in college, it took me, 10 years? Although that's kind of the norm now, is like the community college route. Some of us are going back after a couple of years of being out. My goal was definitely different. The way that I utilize college and things that I learned there are going to be different than how you utilize it, right? But a lot of people don't understand that there's different ways in which you can use it. So the main mind frame is, I'm going to go to college, I'm going to graduate, get my degree, boom, my degree, I got a job. But being that you aren't going there necessarily to gain some of the skills or information from the professors, you may be going there because you may have the skills already, but you might want that piece of paper to show the others that I legitimately know what I'm talking about and what I'm doing.
100%.
I learned these skills myself and I've been doing the work, but I still need this license or this paper to show you that
I know what I'm talking about.
It puts them at ease.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, like, it's crazy because graduated high school and I went to college, Texas Southern. I was there for like 2 semesters. I didn't like it, so I left. Right, came back a year and a half later. I was like, let me give this school thing a try again. I went to American Rep College. Couple semesters, I was like, college is ass. It's not for everybody.
It's not.
So I left. Right. Wrote the book, put the business together, and all these other things. and turn around. I'm going back this time, and I know a lot of everything that they're teaching. I learn a little bit depending on the class, but ultimately, yeah, I'm just going to get to the degree. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's like it solidifies everything in a sense. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm going back. But like now that I'm there, oh, bro, I'm learning why I never liked college. You start going somewhere else with that. No, I'm learning why I don't like college. Like it's if you're young, fresh out, dope. If you're experienced and older, going back,
sitting there like, man.
Well, because these professors have a condescending tone. A lot of them be on power trips. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And
you're not one of these kids out here.
That part. And so I pick up on it. I read it. I'm aware of it, and I'm just like, yo.
And they may be teaching information that is no longer being used in the industry or whatever. They're not necessarily updated on the information.
Jelani, he's pointing at me because we've had dozens of conversations about
that is topic. Dated. I'm like, their reference points are coming from books that are old. They're not out here in the real world. Like They were talking about funding for a business, right? But they're talking about crowdfunding, investors, and loans. They don't want to speak nothing about bootstrapping, which is exactly what I did. And for most entrepreneurs, is the most viable option because it allows you to start making things happen instantly without having to be indebted to anybody else.
Right. And most investors,
just getting it up doing yourself.
Man,
well, most investors aren't there to really invest. They're just like, well, I'll just buy you out. I'll just consume your company. And you're living large, and now we can, multiply it by billions because we have the financial backing to grow it the way that you were trying to grow it, but we just gonna get you out the way and do it the way we do. That's how it is nowadays. You don't really have somebody sitting back. The only time you're gonna have an investor is maybe in real estate. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna have somebody like, you know what, I think this is gonna be a good company I'll put in, unless they putting in to be a partial owner. So
and that's the thing. Like most entrepreneurs don't want to give equity.
No,
nope.
They rather give you an ROI and pay you back with pay back the loan with interest.
Right. And investors are looking to have a come up, and they're not trying to just do. I don't want a little ass ROI. I want the whole, I want the whole shebang or partial ownership. Yeah, that's the game.
This thing works out. I want some of it.
Yeah,
that's what I got for you though.
Yeah.
Nah, but I mean, that's just how it is. So it's just like to be out in the real world, learning things in real time, and then to go back to school and have them telling you like, you got to do it like this. And you're like, well, I literally didn't do any of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then to challenge them will create tension. You see what I'm saying?
And then on top of that, what can discourage a lot of people from going to college is I'm taking a lot of general ed classes, and they've just recently kind of switched things up a little bit to make it a lot better for a lot of people, especially for the community college students. I'm taking these general ed courses, and although they may be necessary, a lot of these general ed courses that I got to take are the exact same courses that I just took when I graduated high school. I got to take these courses.
Fun fact. When I heard that
before I can get into the actual classes that
when I graduated high school and I found that out, that was like, okay, I'm definitely
knock all this shit over.
Yeah.
I know.
I definitely was like, I'm not doing that shit again.
Now there's the math was one of the courses that prevented a lot of people, especially African American students and Latino students, from graduating. And now that you don't have to take that assessment necessarily, they're going to look at your grades from high school and then say, this is your course. Like, you don't have to take the assessment. Because let's say you could take the assessment, dog, and not pass. And it might not have been the greatest day. They don't give you a calculator. You're taking it on a computer. And you might end up in a class that's way lower than what you actually are capable of, and then you got to fight through all of that to get to the
I said, that's one of the things that turned me off after high school. I was just like, and then you look years and years and years and years after high school, right? And you're looking at how college is, and it's like, dude, there's a calculator everywhere. So there's no more doing stuff off of the brain. That's why I was really intrigued when me and Jelani would talk about like how things are outdated, because the world that we were prepared for in high school does not exist.
Bro, it's very different. It's crazy. It's just the thing. It's just like, what?
That's the thing about it, though. Like, think about where you were as a freshman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And where you were as a senior. Think about the transition, the growth, and how much changed in that 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way there's no way you're going to be able to apply everything you learned in high school in the real world. No. It's going to be outdated, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for real?
Yeah.
The curriculum changes like what, every 3 months?
Bro. Like when we were in high school, we were, you have to, the proper way you want to fill out a job application. Fill out your job application. You want to have your resume. You want to have a cover letter. But that's what I'm saying.
It's fill in the blank now. You just click on it and.
That's what you see what I'm saying? So
getting out of high school, I'm going to apply for a job, and they say, "Oh, you gotta do it online." But I brought my pen.
Just go on your smartphone. But I don't have a phone. Well, then you ain't gonna work here.
But that's the thing. Think about it. During that time, like having a computer was still a luxury.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm out of high school, ready to fill out applications, and I have to do it online because you're only allowing it to be done online. So if I don't have a computer or access to online, I'm SOL. Don't you remember there are certain places where you could do it online, but you had to do it on site because they had them there?
Yeah.
Like
damn kiosk.
Yeah, they had where you could apply online at the place. That's how it started out. It's like, we do it online.
Like
you can fill it out
over there. Used to do it like that, and
you see what I'm saying? Yep. So think about how that started. When we were in school, they were talking about filling out applications, right? I don't even remember them really talking about that in school. Yeah, so let's not lie. They didn't talk about that in high school. We learned about that in high school from our parents, and like some of us, like there was at the school I was at, I know there was like there was the ROTC, and then there was like a business, and then there was you know what I'm saying. So there was different things, and if you were a part of that, so like the ROTC, they learned about all the, and then the business, you learn about business things, and so they actually talked a little bit about like application stuff. Yep. But usually you learn that from your parents and stuff because they're like, boy, you can get out and get a job. You're 16 now.
Or if you have to get that little sign for the school, like
work permit. Yeah.
So it would start with that, right? But think about that, all the stuff that we have to fill out, the paperwork and everything. Then you get out of high school and it's like, oh well, it's done online now. You can go do it over there, until the point where it's like you can't even do it on property anymore. We tell you it's online and you just have to go to the website and find it.
Yeah.
Brings up a great question that I have a thought. Is a high school diploma still required to apply to a lot of these places?
Yeah, now it's that, and now
diploma.
people.
No, but
not
I'm
a
serious.
diploma. I mean, you better have a degree.
I mean, no, but I'm just saying, like, applying to a lot of places.
You need a degree.
But just the regular, maybe fast food spot.
Yo, son,
have a high school diploma.
You're not dropping fries without a BA.
But I don't remember anybody. I don't think these applications. I don't think you're required to necessarily even bring proof of it. Is what I'm saying. Like proof of it isn't necessarily required.
I'm gonna keep it G with you. You're absolutely right.
I don't think that's
because
because they'll ask you.
There's been some jobs since out of high school where I've only had to provide my diploma one time.
Yeah.
At a job. Now
you have to provide a resume.
Yeah.
And the resume is supposed to have your education on it.
Yeah, but the proof of it, because like
it depends on the industry, bro. Like if you're working a Fortune 500 company or you're working something big dog shit, they're gonna be like, "Yo, I want to see that paperwork."
Then you have to have no PDF.
Then you have to have a degree, right?
You gotta show, it's actually not even your degree that you're showing. You show your transcripts because anybody can make up a degree. They want to see your actual transcripts. From your school.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, bring me that diploma. That look nice, but bring me the transcript.
Yeah, give me your old principal phone number.
It look like you know how to use Photoshop a little too well, bro.
Get to the bottom.
No, that is true. They will ask for your transcripts and shit like that, and just to even prove if you went to a certain university or whatever the case it is. But the blue collar jobs, bro. Blue collar jobs, they're not asking for it. Or pink collar jobs are asking for it.
I think you get brownie points though. Like if you have a degree, like say in my job, if I had my master's, I could show them, and I would be getting paid more than other people in my same position.
But
that's in most industries too.
That's a good thing for the
but the shit you got to go through to get your fucking masters. Fuck that, bro. Like, nah, bro, we're not doing that.
But it depends, because my boss actually, she just told me, she was like, man, Harold, if you go get your degree or your master's, she said, I got my master's, and she said the amount that she made, how much more she made just because she had her master's was like.
So let me ask you this, bro. So with you working in the industry where if you're there for 10 years, they pay off all your loans, right? If you were to go back and get your master's, do you have to wait another 10 years?
No. See, that's just the federal government, period. It's not just in my industry. If you work in education, there's a list of different industries that you could work.
So after the 10 years, if you want to go back after the 10 years and get your master's, then it's already going to be paid off?
Yeah.
Shit. You might need to get your master's, bro.
Yeah. My loans will be paid off if I get loans, not necessarily my tuition. So it depends on how you pay for the tuition.
And get a loan.
But once you get your master's, going for your master's, though, you ain't gonna get no motherfucking financial aid.
Niggas get the loan.
Get the loan, nigga.
I said it that time. Niggas get the
loan. Yo, man, we finna get out of here, bro. We going in.
Oh, shit.
Anyways, this your boy, Dizzy D Spill, here with my co-host in the building.
It's on me, Farmer Poe.
Former Poe.
Nah, bro.
Formerly
it's Harold.
Formerly known
as Poe. He Harold now.
Yeah. Harold, the jalapeno Poe Williams.
It's Jelani Evans, man. We out of here.
We out of here, y'all. Peace.